What is up everyone, how's it going? Hope you're keeping well and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. That little snippet of the intro there was the live scenes at 1:30 on Sunday morning at the Irish FPL meetup when myself and FPL Fairy decided to activate our wildcards after a poor return on Saturday. The irony of that video of myself and Fairy was the fact that the DJ was playing Insomnia by Fateless, so we all know after activating my wildcard I'm definitely going to have a few sleepless nights this week. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you what I believe to be the foundations of a GameWeek 8 Wildcard team, and we'll also be looking at my current wildcard draft. If you are new to the channel, please give this video a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're currently on the road to 5k subs, so if you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. Let's get into the video. So let's have a look at how GameWeek 7 is currently going for me, and from looking at the screen here, you can probably guess why I've activated my wildcard. An injury to Botman, a very frustrating Triple United, Mbeumo unable to return in the last couple of weeks, some difficult fixtures for Estepinian, and a lack of Aston Villa players is the reason why I've activated my wildcard. I've finally lost patience in the United assets after keeping faith in them over the last couple of weeks, only for them to disappoint. I've now dropped to an overall live rank of 1.4 million, so this has pushed me into pressing my wildcard in the hopes of playing aggressively and getting back up the ranks. I was planning to play my wildcard after the international break, but on Saturday night at the Irish FPL meetup, Ollie Watkins, Heung-min Son, Mo Salah and Matty Cash were all expected to rise, so that's what's pushed me into playing my wildcard. If I didn't play my wildcard that night, I would have been priced out of future moves down the line, so that's why I activated it. Albeit it was a drunken decision, I do in fact believe it was the correct decision, and with 2% battery left in my phone, I was able to lock in my wildcard and get those players in before they rose in price. Let's have a look at how my current wildcard draft is looking ahead of the GameWeek 8 deadline. So starting off with my goalkeepers, I've gone for the cheap route in Matt Turner and Areola for my goalkeeper double up. This goalkeeper pairing only costs 8.2 million, so it's very cheap and will allow you to spend more money out the field. I'll start off by playing Matt Turner for the next two game weeks up against Crystal Palace and Luton in GameWeek 8 and GameWeek 9, and then sub in Areola from GameWeek 10 onwards when West Ham have a great run of fixtures up until GameWeek 17. Areola has been very impressive so far this season for West Ham, and with 4 returns in the opening 7 games at 4.2 million, he's definitely a bargain. I will be hoping to play Matt Turner in GameWeek 8 and GameWeek 9 against Palace and Luton, but there's every chance he might lose his number 1 spot after a poor performance against Brentford on Sunday. That being said, if Turner does lose his number 1 spot, I've no problem playing Areola in GameWeek 8 against Newcastle and GameWeek 9 against Villa, and just hope for some save points, and anything else will be a bonus. We've all seen how bad the goalkeeping options have been so far this season, so picking up these two goalkeepers helps me to save some cash and will allow me to upgrade my outfield players. Let's have a look at how my defence is shaping up. So looking at my 3-man defence, we start off with a man who alongside Areola has 4 returns in his opening 7 games in Matty Cash of Aston Villa. Aston Villa have a great run of fixtures starting off in GameWeek 8 against Wolves up until GameWeek 14, so with this favourable fixture run for Villa, Matty Cash earned a spot in my team. Cash has already scored twice and assisted once so far this season, and Leon Bailey will be sidelined for the next couple of weeks with a hamstring injury, so there's every chance Cash could play some of these games at right wing or right mid, so with an out of position defender potentially playing in a midfield or forward role, he definitely earns a spot in the team. He's already rose to 4.9 million so far this week, and there's every chance he can rise to 5 million, so if you don't have him in your team already, I'd advise on getting him in. With Sven Botman looking to be sidelined for the next couple of weeks, Dan Burn offers a cheap route into the Newcastle defence, and that's why he makes my wildcard team. Unfortunately, I don't have enough money to get to Trippier, but I'm hoping Dan Burn can cover him for at least the clean sheets that Newcastle get, and maybe the occasional attack and return like he did against Sheffield. Udigi completes my 3-man defence with a great run of fixtures for Spurs up until GameWeek 12. He has blanked in his last 3 games however, but he's up against Luton in the early kick-off on Saturday, so I'll be hoping for a clean sheet there and maybe even a sneaky attack and return. That's how my defence is looking. Let's have a look at how my midfield is shaping up. So moving on to the midfield, we start off with the man who was the first name in my wildcard draft in Mo Salah. Salah has 3 goals and 4 assists in the opening 7 games, returning in 6 games and only blanking in 1. It should have been 7 returns in 7 when he set up Diaz for an onside goal which was ruled offside at the weekend when it would have been a Salah assist. Liverpool also have a great run of fixtures starting off in GameWeek 9 at home to Everton up until GameWeek 16, so having Salah in my team is a definite must. Man City also have a tough run of fixtures over these games, so having Salah in the team allows me to have a captaincy candidate, and I'll probably be captaining Salah a lot of times over these run of fixtures. Heung-min Son is another essential pick for your wildcard draft, having scored 6 goals in the opening 7 fixtures for Spurs, and he's an out of position midfielder on penalties playing up front for Spurs, and this should further cement his spot in your team. He's also got a great fixture in the early kickoff away to Luton on Saturday, so he's definitely a prime candidate for the captaincy this week, where I'll potentially be looking to move away from Haaland when Man City play Arsenal. James Maddison completes my Spurs triple up with the focus on their very favourable fixture run over the next number of games. He's already got 2 goals and 4 assists in the opening 7 games, so I'll be hoping for some similar returns over their favourable fixture run. Moussa Diaby is the second Aston Villa player in my team, and with a great run of fixtures for Villa up until game week 14, he earns a spot in my midfield. He's also an out of position midfielder, playing up front close to Ollie Watkins, and with 2 goals and 4 assists in the open 7 games, he's great value at 6.7 million. I expect him to rise to 6.8 million before the game week 8 deadline, so if you don't have him in your team, I'd recommend getting him in now. He did come off with a knock against Brighton at the weekend, but Emery said he should be fine for the weekend, so he's in the team for now. I'll be keeping a close eye on Emery's press conference on Friday, but I do expect him to be rested in the European game on Thursday, and then he should be fine to play Wolves at the weekend. My 5th midfielder spot is still currently up for grabs, but as of now, I've given it to James Ward-Prowse. Amazingly, he's only blanked once so far this season, so he's definitely excelling in the number 10 role for West Ham. He does have a difficult task up against Newcastle in game week 8 and then in Villa in game week 9, but West Ham do have a great run of fixtures up until game week 16, so as of now, James Ward-Prowse gets the 5th man spot. Unfortunately, I don't have enough money for Jared Bowen, but Ward-Prowse has definitely impressed so far this season, so I've no problem keeping him in the team for now. If I do want to look elsewhere, with Harvey Barnes out injured until the new year, Anthony Gordon could be a decent replacement and also a cheaper option, priced at 5.6 million. He is however suspended for game week 8, so if I do want to go on the cheaper route with Anthony Gordon, I'll have to play somebody else in the starting 11 for game week 8, and then Gordon can come back into the team when he's back from his suspension. West Ham definitely do have the better fixture run compared to Newcastle, so Ward-Prowse makes the 5th man spot for now. That's how my 5-man midfield is shaping up. Let's have a look at how I'm lining up front. Just off the back of his 23-point haul against Brighton at the weekend, there's no surprise to see Ollie Watkins earns a spot in my wildcard team. He's already got 4 goals and 6 assists in 7 games this season, so 10 goal contributions is a crazy stat for him already. I can't emphasise enough how good Villa's fixtures are up until game week 14, so bringing Ollie Watkins into the team completes my Villa triple up. There's no surprise to see Erling Haaland complete my 2-man forward line, but there are some FPL content creators and managers within the community thinking about not going with him on their wildcards. All I can say is, do not do this, keep him in your team. I didn't think I'd have to say that this season, but if you are thinking about going with Haaland, be warned, he could easily haul in any fixture, and we've seen that last year. Fair enough, you could argue that you are just going to captain Salah through Man City's tough fixture run, but all I can say is just save yourself the heartache and keep Haaland in your team. If you are thinking about leaving off Haaland over City's tough fixture run, you could take a potential -4 or even a -8 to get him back into your team, so save yourself the stress and just keep him in your squad. Moving on to the bench, the only player worth noting is Gabriel of Arsenal, as I am looking for Arsenal defensive cover from game week 10 onwards. They do face City in game week 8 and then Chelsea in game week 9, so if I do keep Gabriel in my squad, I'll be benching him for the next 2 weeks. If you are planning on wildcarding this week, triple Villa, triple Spurs, Salah and Newcastle defender Haaland and Areola should be the 10 foundations of your wildcard team. I'm fairly certain I'll be keeping those 10 foundation players in my wildcard team before the deadline, so with them players locked in, I just have a few other decisions I need to make. My final wildcard dilemmas are whether or not I change formation to 3-4-3 with Alvarez up top beside Watkins and Haaland, or leave my current formation in 3-5-2. I also need to finalise my 5th midfielder pick between James Ward-Prowse or Anthony Gordon, or a different 5th man midfielder. I also need to decide on my 4th defender, but I'm currently happy with Gabriel for now for Arsenal defensive cover, but I may change it to another Newcastle defender or look for something elsewhere. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give the video a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you are watching this video and are not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and help me on my way to reaching 5k subscribers. It's free to do, it won't cost you anything, and it really does support the channel. I'll have another video out during the week where I'll be locking in my wildcard team after the European Games midweek. There you have it. There's my current wildcard draft. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.